Good morning, students. I'm Pragati, your psychology teacher, and I'm going to start with chapter 4 psychological disorder, and we will continue the chapter with the factor underlying abnormal behavior. Today, class, we will understand what are the three major factors through which the psychological disorder are being affected and what are the reasons. So, for that, there are three different factors which we are going to study. First thing is biological factor, second is genetical factor, and third is psychological factor. This chapter is based on the psychological factor, that is about the psychological disorder. What are the psychological factors due to which the psychological disorders arises? Okay, the mental illness is being caused due to what psychological factor? That all about the chapter is. But today we are just going to understand that what are the basic factors. Okay, for this the biological factors are as such like faulty genes. If the genetical problem during the birth, we know that how do the genes form with the 23 pair of chromosomes, right? That we know now. Now, if the third pair, if the 23rd pair, that is of XY or XX, which forms a baby boy or baby girl, in this, if the any faulty gene arise or in any of the 23 pairs, any kind of genes problem creates, due to that the that causes the disorder in a child from birth. Okay, then endocrine imbalance. Endocrine imbalance, what does it mean? If we have you have studied brain diagram in your 11th class, if you haven't, I will share the link of that also with you. You can watch the brain diagram. In that, the pituitary gland is being there, and the endocrine gland, in which is being secreting hormone of that hormone secretion is being affected, or some or other way, if the pituitary gland is not working or the cerebrum is being affected, that time the biological factor affect over the mental health. Okay, then malnutrition. If a child is being malnourished, or during the conceiving time, if a mother could not have the balanced diet and a child is underweight or not consume all the required balanced proteins and vitamins, then that is being understood that it is been causing the biological factor. That is the one of the biological factor which causes the illness. Okay, now coming on the injuries. During birth, if a child get injured, his head get injured during the operation time, or during pregnancy, if a mother get injured and this affect the child, then also these injuries can cause the biological disorders, and the disorder causes right from the birth. Okay, now problem in transmission of the messages from neurons to neurotransmitter. Like we have studied about the neurons also. Neurons are transferring the messages to the through the form of chemical form. Okay, from electronic to chemical, and then the message is being transferred to the other neuron and the other body part. If any kind of disturbance causes, such as in anxiety disorder, the GABA, which is known as a neurotransmitter, it is a gamma aminobutyric acid. This kind of acid, if there's some kind of problem form, or this neurotransmission cannot transfer the information rightly, then the anxiety disorder causes. Anxiety disorder is what? It is something in which a person get disturbed or get such an stressed out situation at a high extent from any kind of problem. Okay, you get to distress or in a problematic situation. Okay, next is schizophrenia. In this also the dopamine is a hormone which has been released in our brain, and if it has been not released or if it has been affected, then the most common disorder, which is schizophrenia, that is being affected. Okay, then a person being faced this disorder that is known as schizophrenia. In this, hallucination and delusions are the major symptoms which have been seen. Okay, next after this, the depression. This is the most common, and in 2020 it has been the rising disorder according to the mental health study. In this, the dopamine that is known as 5-HT, also if it is been not releasing or some kind of problem form, then this kind of disorder causes. These all are the biological factors which affect over the psychological disorders. Now coming over the genetical factors. The genetical factors are the combining to the problems of the mood disorder. Means if the your genes has been affected or some other way, and then these are being affected by the problem causing the psychological disorder, because the genes are being affected. It means if your parents or your grandparents is been suffering from any kind of disorder, then there may be the reasons due to which this disorder can transfer. For example, dyslexia or dementia. These are some of the dementia majorly, or dyslexia or mental retardation. Okay, these are some kind of disorders which are due to genetical factor. Even schizophrenia and mental retardation and mood disorder. Mood disorder is one in which a person extremely get happy or get depressed. Okay, in which the bipolar disorder is one of the disorder. Okay, now coming over the psychological factors. In the psychological factors, the psychological factors are the factors in which are we are being affected due to some or the other factors which are related to our surrounding. Okay, in this it can be like faulty parent-child relationship, maybe cause of mother death, stepmother rise, and then the relationship is not well formed, or a father is beating their child in the childhood, or a very depressed child who's been passed by the child, or any maternal deprivation is being formed. Due to all these reasons, or maladaptive family structure is also one of the major reason in which the psychological disorder is being affected. Okay, in this we also study in the next class about the psychodynamic model, about the behavioral model, cognitive model, humanistic extension model, and socioculture and derivative stress model. Okay, in this, the psychodynamic model given by Freud, in this has been studied, and then the behavioral model where behavior is being studied up. Okay, then the cognitive model in which we have been going to study about the mental working, and then social culture, how the society is been working or something. Okay, that is known as the factor, psychological factors. Now on this, what we are going to do is next point. Secondly, the second thing which we are going to work is we are going to see a short animated video over these factors affecting the human being. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.